Group B. Here's a terrific scene. Wonderful stadium, the Levium Monomoto Stadium in Ndola. Seen plenty of action both in the MTN 5 Super League and in the CAF Champions League. Underway then in Ndola. It's Cameroon against South Africa. South Africa playing from right to left in the yellow and green, and the Cameroon in the green and red with the yellow stockings are defending the goal to the left-hand side of your screen. South Africa, fancy do have to look out for in the early stages. It's just being maybe intimidated by the normally aggressive West African side, and intimidated maybe by their strength and physicality. But South Africa are a playmaking side, and they will be looking to use that ability to take the game to the Cameroon and perhaps come up with a three-pointer. Early touch for Victor Mpindi in the midfield for the Cameroon, and a little burst down the right-hand side by Eric Ayuk to start proceedings for this Cameroon side. Long ball headed away by Duplex Bangu, one of the two centre-backs, the other by Sidara. Control from Luther Singh. Fortunately, the delivery going straight out of play from the South African midfielder. If you weren't with us for the first encounter in Group B today, Senegal against Sudan, I can tell you that there's two bands in the house, one near the halfway line, one a little closer to the northern end of the stadium, and both do a great job in trying to create some atmosphere here. Offside flag against Tumuleng Chopane. First intervention from Moriba Diakite, the Malian assistant referee as well. He just left the house a little too early, the Chopane. Kaiser Chiefs man, one of two Kaiser Chiefs players in the starting lineup, the other being Wiseman Maywa in the pocket, the holding midfield role. Bonga Konke Mbata from Bidvest Bits looking to come forward as well. Talking about Bidvest Bits, Pakamani Mahlabi not released by his club Bidvest Bits to come to the tournament. They're looking to win the league title in South Africa, and he's such an integral part of that situation. I'm sure there might be other reasons as well, but he's not here. And the man who's not afraid to attack defences, if you well versed on South African football. The offside was called. It looked a pretty tight call to me, but Africa will have to just accept that decision. Cameroon very rarely fail at international level. He has Luther Singh in the middle of the park. Lovely control of the ball from Singh. Mobo. Looking to get himself into a little bit of trouble. The Cameroon have kept it in play by Felix Jubairu. Easy take there by Mondley of Porto. Tolanuhu with the header away by the Cameroon, but South Africa have got numbers forward here. Clearance needed by Junior Dande. Headed back by Sandile Mtetwa for South Africa. Nice little touch into the middle as well. Got the overlap for Motan Mobo. In your picture is the centre back Olivier by Zidara. Year-old who plays his football at Union Sportif Douala in the Cameroon. Pick up here by Sambal Doué, the captain of the Cameroon side. Oh, he's been caught flat here. South Africa with numbers forward. Mbata, still Mbata. It's bit on the right-hand side for South Africa. Ketu Calvin comes back from the attacking midfield position to cut out the South African attack. Now it's Grant Marchman from Ajax Cape Town. He's grabbed a couple of goals in the South African Premier League in the last little while as well for his club. Just a little tackle that went awry on Victor Pindi though from Marchman. Little knockdown by Preston Tambota Taka. Is it Ayuk? Nice play by the Cameroon as well. That's a good save. Can he make a double save? Good work done by Mpoto. Goal for South Africa. And some of the fans on their feet in support of the South Africans. What a great opportunity for the Cameroon, and a missed chance by Calvin. South Africa looking to do the same and scrambled away in defence by Felix Jubairu. Well, look at this wonderful opportunity for the Cameroon. Delightful ball, the goalkeeper having to scurry from one side of the goal to the other. A double save of Ketu Calvin. First header was a powerful one, and Mpoto did the right thing, got his body behind the line and got his legs in the way the second time. Both times denying the Cameroon number 7. South Africa there, the first corner kick of the match. Appealing for a handball from Mbaye Sidara. Nothing from the match official from Burundi though. Still a bright start to the match in Group B. I'd say we've seen some very enterprising football in both Group A and Group B yesterday and today. Now, bit of it here for Eric Ayuk once again. Ayuk's done well. Little Jimmy, one way or the other. Still an opportunity. Calvin showed far too much of the ball to the South African defender. Well cleared away by Luther Singh. Not only does his fair share of attacking, but nothing wrong with that piece of defending either. Throw in from Cholo Nubu. It should be easy for Mpoto. The fans being really entertained in the opening 7 minutes of this encounter. Pick up by Toboko Mokoena, the South African captain who plays at SuperSport United in South Africa. Luther Singh once again. Mokoena. Singh looking for options. Looking straight at the park as well to Siabokonke Bata. They might have just got too much of a touch on it there, Wiseman Maywa. Not often that you find a defender trying to dribble himself out of trouble, and got themselves in a pickle here, Cameroon, but South Africa offside. Wiseman Maywa not quite focusing to the line. Cameroon have gotten away with one. Hit away by Mohamed. The flick from Marchman. And Cameroon picked to mount a counter-attack themselves with their number 7, Ketu Calvin, who forced a double save out of Mpoto earlier on. Mokoena, a rather ambitious ball. Dundee not spotting anybody really to pass the ball to, taking his time a fraction, and straight through past Sanjiliam Jedwa and Kadeko Mohamed to Mondliam Mpoto. Headed away by Masirara. Guwe looking forward, and again some enterprise by Eric Ayuk. A strong challenge on him as well, and no call to Arsenal given by the challenge by Nocha Nobo. Nobo comes away with the decision as well. Rather perplexed looking Eric Ayuk looks towards the assistant referee Sitiki Sidibe. I thought that was probably worthy of a yellow, I beg your pardon, of a free kick to the Cameroon. right in front of the assistant referee, who allows play to continue. Turn back from Toro Nuhu to Junior Dande. Once again looking for some space with the K2 Calvin, who continues to be adventurous on that left-hand side. So 10 minutes into the first half, Group B, second match. Cameroon and South Africa deadlocked at 0-0 at the moment. Free kick to the Cameroon with a foul on K2 Calvin. Really are seeing some quite enterprising work being done by both the wingers, Ayuk on the right hand side, Calvin on the left. Nuhu trying to get the ball forward. Oh, there's a bit of space available to Sony. South Africa not giving anything away in defence except the corner. Himself directing traffic inside of that South African penalty area. Well, seemingly getting involved in everything that's happening out on the park at the moment is K2 Calvin. He seemed a little bit disappointed with his delivery, headed away by Santile Mchetwa for South Africa anyway. Well kept in play by Grant Marjaman with Samuel Koué trying to cause some problems. Now South Africa in the mix here with Chopane. Wasn't able to hold on to possession long enough to make it count. Headed away by Mohamed once again, and foul in the middle of the park will give South Africa a free kick. The man who's down is Tebogo Mokoena. Referee asking for a little bit of calm from Victor Pindi. The enterprising start from both the Cameroon and South Africa continues. One wonders if they will have the energy or the enterprise to continue playing for 90 minutes at this sort of pace. South Africa caught offside, and Cameroon goalkeeper Junior Dande is absolutely beside himself with rage at the defence that seemed to go walkabout. Again, it's Luther Singh causing problems. Well, players really need to take more responsibility about checking the line while they're looking back for a pass to come from the midfield. We'll flick on from Victor Pindi. Push inside of that South African penalty area will give the most southern country on the African continent an opportunity to clear some of the pressure being exerted by the Cameroon's K2 Calvin. That's clear with Kevin Stoney, by the way, the 18-year-old attacking midfielder. Bolsataka was named as the only striker, with Sony playing just behind him. But Sony's been getting rather nicely forward for the Cameroon so far. A throw in from Jubairu. Looking for the return pass, but well won in the midfield by Marjaman. And away goes Chopane once again. Just seems to be losing his balance, or maybe being knocked over a little bit too easily. He is the Kaiser Chiefs man at the moment. Bangu for the Cameroon. And some width off it again for K2 Calvin and company. First time ball. And a header and a goal! Eric Ayuk! Ball watching from the South African defence. They pay the price. Look at the celebration as well. Eric Ayuk has Cameroon in front. Plays for Philadelphia Union in the United States of America, and scores the third goal in Group B, the first in this match from Cameroon, with some good work on the left-hand side where the proliferation of work has come. Again, great first-time ball in. Look at the ball watching though from Novo. I wonder how much instruction was coming back to him from his goalkeeper Poto, because he had no idea here about the presence of Eric Ayew. Did the left-sided fullback, and he paid the price for it as Cameroon celebrates like that. Well, a bright start by the Cameroon, 15 minutes in. It is Cameroon who lead by a goal to nil. Enterprising play from the West Africans, paying dividends for them, but clearly a bit of work needed to be done on that occasion as far as communication was concerned to Northern Mobile. So Kutlefa Mohamed is going across to have a chat with his coach, Thabo Senong, about re-instructions as far as the defence is concerned. South Africa though do have a free kick here. The players, watch out for trying to protect your face with the arms. I'll blow for handball. So Luther Singh looking to get South Africa back on level terms here. Little dummy run. Luther Singh, it's a great goal. The lead for Cameroon. Last barely 90 seconds. Luther Singh. What a year he's having. What a year he had last year as well. First goal of the tournament. Well, you have to wait until the 88th minute to get a goal from Senegal after the 15th minute goal from Sudan. We've had 2 goals inside of 17 minutes here. It's a wonderful, wonderful strike. The keeper got a double hand on it, Junior Dunde. But such was the power and direction from Luther Singh. And the South African midfielder has South Africa on level terms. 2 minutes after Ayew grabs the goal, Luther Singh with a free kick for South Africa. 17 minutes in, the scores are level. I'm sure his former coach, Farouk Khan in South Africa, from the Africa Sports Academy, is absolutely thrilled to his socks for that delivery from the man who plays in Europe, in the Portuguese league with Sporting Braga, one of the big 4 in the Portuguese league. Quality goals, both of them. Lovely work done by Eric Ayew. Vision from him to launch over the back of Norton Morbo and find the near post pass Monli Mpoto for the Cameroon goal. Exquisite set piece from Luther Singh, setting the tone for the rest of the match. Cameroon will know that South Africa comes to play, there's no doubt about that. All the way by Kutlefa Mohamed. Back it comes by Zidara. Offside against the Cameroon side. So South Africa getting their defence reorganised after that little momentary lapse. The ball was allowed to come across almost from the left-hand touchline. The goal scored by Eric Ayew. And in the picture is Itumeleng Shofane. A couple of little runs into the Cameroon danger zone. Both times he's been seemingly bumped off the ball a little easily. We'll see how he's able to reinvent himself. Meantime, South Africa looking again. Kumela wide on the right-hand side for South African defence, but South Africa with numbers forward here, and it's a really good ball. Marksman pushed wide by Fasia Dora. No real pressure in defence for the South Africans. This is Novo. Mokoena having to do little pirouettes. Novo now with a little bit of space. He's got some yardage to make up as well. Goes into the middle, still less space. Tidied up by Bangu. The entertainment continues in Angola. Mukumela, Mamelodi Sundowns product. And wide on the right hand side of defence. yesterday. 4 goals in Group B already. Ketu Calvin continues to work hard down the left-hand side, and that's a foul, no doubt about it, from left-sided fullback. Tolo Nuhu, put over the top of the South African midfielder. Bangu with a clearance for Cameroon. South Africa want to take this free kick quickly. Perhaps they've taken it too quickly, but the referee suggesting that they didn't take it in the correct position. Now they do. But the wise man Mewa. Little touchback from Popani. Getting the ball's been given away though. Here's Ayuk, the goal scorer. Suddenly he's been mocked a little tighter. Good work done there by Mewa once again. That's his job. He's the holding midfielder. Forward by Martinman. Mewa strong the challenge for South Africa. And Chopani's away here. Still Chopani! 1-on-1 with the keeper as well. Came off his line rather nicely, Junior Dande, but he had space and time. Got in behind the defence. Long-footed both centre-backs. Just the kind of Chiefs man. Wasn't able to finish the job as Dedra clears for South Africa. Nuhu looking for Calvin. Jedra having a chat to Mohami. Jedra playing for Orlando Pirates. Like Mamelodi Sundowns. Had a star on their jersey after having been crowned champions of Africa all the way back in 1995. Cameroon playing quite a high line here, trying to orchestrate more attack for South Africa. The midfield just seems to be there for the taking as both sides play down the flanks and long balls over the top of the respective opposition defences. Once again, Nuhu to Calvin. Bindi comes into play as well. This is good play from the Cameroon. Better concentration by Noble this time. Jubairu. Now Devota Taka. Devota Taka. It's a good challenge from Mohamed. They kept in play as well by South Africa. Concentration from the Cameroon players. That's another header that just about goes over the back of Mukumela. Very, very similar to the Kobo affair when Ayuk scored. Calvin not able to replicate what Ayuk was able to do from the right-hand side about 8 minutes ago. Delivered a free kick of precise quality for the South African equaliser. Scrambled back by Bangu. Under pressure from Mbata. Sony. Finds Calvin again. Calvin's got a bit of skill about him. Looking to take on 3 South African players. Mukumela eventually teams up with them Tetra to prevent any problems coming, but they do have a set piece to Cameroon. Mewa trying to hold off Sony in that penalty area. Little ball knocked forward by Bangu. No problems for Poto though. Konke Mbata. Coach of the Cameroon, Cyprian Achu, would have been very happy. I think any coach would have been very happy with the delivery that came across from into Calvin and Ayuk's conversion. Not sure what his thoughts would have been with the Singh equaliser though. At the moment, that's very much evenly poised. Luther Singh battling away in midfield again. Here's Grant Martin. Space wide on the right-hand side. Batu is very, very pacey indeed. Not the biggest of men, but certainly a man who is not afraid to run at his opponent. South Africa has been given a penalty. Well, they're really surprised in defence. Tolanu can't believe his eyes, but the referee's pointing to the penalty spot here. South Africa with a chance to go in front. Batu with such an intelligent run down that far side. Let's have a look at this again. I'm trying to make the clearance. He miscues completely. First that should come from him. I think that's accidental. I really don't think it's a penalty, but I'm not to the man out in the middle. Nkurunziza is given a penalty. We've seen some curious penalty today. South Africa with a chance to go in front. It's going to be Luther Singh. Straight past the goalkeeper. It's a ripper of a penalty kick. And Singh turns back to his teammates. And South Africa celebrate going in front for the first time. Singh on the break becomes the tournament's leading goal scorer. Committing himself to one side and Singh going just about down the middle. It's a bit of a risk, I suppose, but pays off for the 19-year-old Portuguese-based striker midfielder. He's got both goals for South Africa. 27 minutes into the match, South Africa lead by 2-1. These goals coming 10 minutes apart from each other. From set pieces. Mabo done a good job on Thabo Titicaca. Both sides enjoying the same amount of possession, almost the same amount of shots as well. Both with 3 shots on target, just showing sort of enterprise. 3 out of 3 for South Africa, 3 out of 4 for the Cameroon. A lot of quality out there. Chetwood's got a niggle. It does seem to be requiring medical attention. It does give an opportunity though for the goalkeeper and perhaps the captain himself to come back and reorganise and readdress maybe things that need to be readdressed. In the meantime, coach Thabo Senong talking to his goal scorer. He's got a big smile on his face, so obviously things going according to plan, but calm heads are required when you're dealing with a bunch of teenagers. Looks as if he's going to have to get on the block himself. Coach Senong. So the restart will come from a free kick for South Africa. Heading up towards half an hour. 3 goals in the match already. 5 goals in Group B. This could really open things up for South Africa. Good ball through the middle here for Sony. Closed down quickly. Victor Mpindi finding Jubairu. Sony again. South African defence hustling from one side to the other. Not allowing Cameroon any space. Good play from South Africa. Welcome Mokwena doing a great job. Now there's a sprint on here down the flanks for South Africa. And they'll get a free kick as well. South African skipper bumped off his feet. Certain elements of desperation with the challenge from Kevin Sodi, who's probably not used to doing that much defending. Coming from his attacking midfield role for the Cameroon. Seen what South Africa can do from set pieces. It's not going to be Luther Singh now. This is probably at the end of his range, so variation to the theme will come from Konke Mbata, the man who won the penalty that was converted by Singh. concern from Tolo Nuhu, the defender. So Mbata will leave it in by Ngobo. Clearance will be made by Mbatirara. Tolo Nuhu couldn't believe his eyes when Asher Ibrahim was at Thierry and Kurunziza pointed to the penalty spot after that challenge on Sabongo Konke Mbata. That is the reality of the situation. Hit away by Wiseman Mewa, cleared by Ngobo. Not convincingly enough though. Here comes Ayuk once again. Ngobo under pressure, does well. South Africa forcing Cameroon onto the defensive once again. Work done there by Sidara. With the exception of Ayuk for the Cameroon and Tobacco Mokoena for South Africa, who are 20 years old apiece. All the rest of the youngsters on the pitch, 18 and 19 years old. And then May was 17. Youngest man on the pitch at the moment. I say at the moment because there are a couple of 17-year-olds on the bench for the Cameroon, for South Africa as well. Both of these sides giving a great account of each other at this level, and it shows what is in store for the future of the West African country, and that from the South African side as well. National competitions coming up, it's qualification for FIFA World Cup finals. There's a Chan qualification coming up, African Cup of Nations 2019 coming up as well. So plenty of international football around for not only the senior players, but from some of those that can really make a name for themselves. No doubt there'll be a bunch of European scouts around at the total under-20 African Cup of Nations competition here in Zambia, both in Lusaka and on the Copper Belt. Don't forget that it's the 4 top teams that make the semi-final that go to South Korea. Half of the teams that are here in Zambia for this competition. It's absolutely terrific, the representation. It's good recovery from Mohamed to deny Ayuk. Still the pressure will come from Sony. We'll win a corner. Wonderful buzz around the Olympian Wonderwater Stadium in Ndola. There might not be too many fans out on the far side. It's evening time now, so football lovers that are on their way home from work perhaps coming into the stadium. Now ball on the outside of the penalty area here. An opportunity for Nuhu to make up for the penalty he gave away. Bata lays it back to Mewa. Lovely switch play from South Africa. Luther Singh, he's got space. Luther Singh. Oh, it's a good piece of recovery from the Cameroon. Picked up by Preston Tabotaka. It's a bit of an ambitious challenge from Mewa. Good work done by Kevin Sony as well. He has been impressive. Starts to take over the reins almost from Ketu Calvin on the left-hand side. Tolo Nuhu. There's a South African player down. The Cameroon are not worried about that because they trailed by 2-1. They want another goal. What they'll get is a corner, and then the South African player will receive some medical attention. Difficult to see who it is. Possibly Mbata. No, it's not. It's Chopani. He's taken one in the midriff, and not happy, is he? Certainly made his contribution because he's a big guy, and he's going to attract defensive players around him when he gets into the penalty area, and maybe that allows for the potentially quicker Sabongo Konke and Mbata and the Grant Margin to cause problems and lay the balls off to the likes of Mokoena and Singh. A good enterprise from the sides. Corner kick though to the Cameroon. Almost goes to the same place as we see, almost near the penalty spot. All three corners corners so far from the Cameroon have gone almost in the same direction. 10 minutes to play before we have first half stoppage time. South Africa lead by 2-1. Away by Santilem Tetra. Not the most convincing clearance. Cameroon have numbers forward. Lovely sweeping clearance from the midfield. Also looking hungry again after having recovered from that little knock that he picked up. Jubairu. Back to Bangu. Gouet. Cameroon. Trying to re-establish himself. Obo gets underneath the very Kayuk, and that little battle within the match continues. Wiseman Mayweather. Now again, he's defending for Santilem Tetra. He keeps the ball away. Pindi looking good. Pindi might have overdone it. No, it's been kept in play. They'll have a corner, Cameroon. Forcing South Africa onto the back foot. Ukubela having to scramble the ball away. The very fluid looking Cameroon side. Ball played a little closer to the edge of the 6-yard box this time. South Africa not taking any chances with the clearance. Samuel Gouet. Nuhu. Sony offside. The organisation in the line from South Africa is quite a marginal call, I must say, because it looked like one of the centre backs, perhaps Mohammed, was playing Sony on, but the assistant referee made the call. Greatest of clearing headers from Bangu. Cameroon might just get away with it, and they have. Back it comes from Mohamed. The Cameroon have done a little better over the last little while. They just seem to have slowed the game down a little. And then this little burst of enthusiasm like this from Kelvin. Santilem Tetra. Watch the ball first and then the player. He did brilliantly. Bangu again. Looking for Bai Sidara. Jubairu. Oh, he tried to work his way through there. Kilman Sodi and the Botataka was waiting inside the South African penalty area. The ball never reached him though. Nobo. Recovering from that moment when he was caught out by Eric Ayuk in the 15th minute. Seemed to have reorganised his head. Playing rather nicely. Never-ending instructions, Thomas and all, demanding a high work rate on the South African side. They certainly have to live it on the promise in which they came into the tournament. Nice work done by Luther Singh. Picks out him Tetra. Switch play out to Mbata. Such a massive height differential between this man, Nuhu, and Mbata. Probably head and shoulders. Quite interesting. Looking out of our commentary box window, Cameroon are making a change. Ketu Calvin, who was such an influential player off the left-hand side for Cameroon in the opening stages of the match, is going to make way. He's going to make way for Felix and Ganle. He's picked up an injury during the course of the match. Felix and Ganle Gunley is a striker, plays for Union Sportive Douala as well. 18 years old, so interesting that a change would come so early on in the match. We're not at half-time yet, although we're not far away from it. 5 minutes to play and stoppage time. So a very influential play off the left-hand side is made way now. Is there going to be a bit of a restructuring in the middle of the park from coach Cyprian Atu? It does look as if Felix Nganle has taken up the central striker's role. In the meantime, here comes Jubairu. Good piece of defending from South Africa, although Mohamed's injured himself in the process of making that clearance. Now just a collision between Mohamed and Jubairu. Outside of the fullback, able to walk away from the incident, and Katlego Mohamed, SuperSport United centre-back, not so lucky. A big puff of the magic spray might have the man back on his feet sooner rather than later. It looks okay. In the meantime, instructions from Cyprian Atu, knowing that half-time is imminent, and he'd love to be back on level terms by the time the play's going to the break. Just to add to the competition in the Zambian Imtian Fa Super League between the Copperbelt and Lusaka, we can tell you that with South Africa leading by 2-1. The other match between Senegal and Sudan ending 1-1. That the Copperbelt lead over the capital by 5-1. So I hope you guys have your game tomorrow. In the meantime, playback underway. Tabote Taka. Scrambled away by Mohamed, who just seemed a little tentative. I can understand it after just having taken a bit of a knock. Not wasting any time though, Cameroon getting the ball back into play. Do have some wonderful touches to the Cameroon side, but South Africa absolutely uncompromising. This thing comes back to just follow defending. Chopani will continue with the chase. A bit of tidying up from Bangu as he finds Sidara. More will clear towards Marjaman. That time giving away possession a little too easily perhaps at the moment, and it'll be a free kick for the Cameroon. No complaints from Kevin Soni. There's only one thing on the mind of Cameroon at the moment, and that's to get level. By Sidara. Nuhu. It's going to be another Cameroon corner. One portion of the match where they have shown some dominance. South Africa have only had the one corner kick. By my count, it's 4 for Cameroon at the moment. Tabote Taka, the man who will take it. It's much closer to a ball, but over the top of his head, and straight out of play. South Africa will breathe a bit of a sigh of relief. They have been coming under growing pressure on the Cameroon side. We get Cameroon led after just 15 minutes. The lead they held for just 2 minutes before the free kick from Singh, and then a penalty from Singh 10 minutes later after Bata was brought down by Tolo Nuhu. Chopani loses out to Bangu. Pindi. Bit of space available for Tabote Taka. First time ball in the area, nicely worked away by Kumela. Cameroon certainly persistent. In the final minute of regulation time in the first half, it has been pulsating to say the least. Nuhu from Pindi. So the return pass doesn't find it. Good cover again from Mukumela and gets the throw in for South Africa. That's the fullback. A long throw from 18-year-old Tendo Mukumela. So into stoppage time at the end of the first half in Ndola. 3 goals in the first half between Cameroon and South Africa. 1 minute added on. The Botenaka obstructed by South Africa's Wasman Mewa. Just before the break, it's going to be the fullback, Tolo Nuhu, left-sided fullback. A little bit of space available. That's a little bit of cover from South Africa. And again, it's Mukumela. He seems to have grown in confidence over the last 15 minutes or so, because he started off a little shakily, perhaps. But the pressure on that occasion was being provided by Calvin in the early stages. Calvin has been replaced by Bantley. So the corner's in. South Africa clear. Should be easy for Poto, just enough, I think, for the goal kick, and then we'll have half-time. In fact, no goal kick required. Referee Thierry and Nkurunziza sent the players into half-time, and it's been a good one. In the first half so far, they do lead by 2-1. Match referee from Burundi, Thierry Nkurunziza, is the man in charge. No substitutions look as if they've been made by either Cyprian Achu or Tabo Senong for the start of the second half, and we're underway with the Cameroon in the red and green, playing from right to left. South Africa with the brace from Singh, 1 a free kick, 1 a penalty, 10 minutes apart from each other, having to come from behind to get into the lead as Ayuk from the Cameroon grabbed the early goal in the 15th minute. Cameroon also making the first half substitution with Ketu Calvin making way for Felix Ngangle. 18-year-old striker coming on and playing the most forward role for the Cameroon, making a little bit of a change as far as the wing play is concerned as well. So let's see what the second half will bring us. It'll be interesting to see what the depth of the talent on the bench is going to be as well, from both the Cameroon and South Africa, when bench plays are required, and it's been required from the Cameroon so far. And I'm sure that the South Africans and Coach Tabo Senong will expect the Cameroon to come out with all guns blazing in the opening 10-15 minutes of the second half, and perhaps South Africa will do well to just play a little bit of counter-attack football during that time, but there's no doubt that Cameroon want to go with all guns blazing. Felix Ngangle allowing the ball just to drift off his boots and into touch for a South African throw in, but there certainly is a little bit of enterprise and a bit of a skip in the step of this Cameroon side. Shobani, a little bit too heavy-handed on Bangu. Will get the free kick for the Cameroon. They're taking it quickly through the middle with Gouet. Split it wide to Jubairu. By Zidara. Gouet once again. Seems to be a lot more clinical in the second half so far. Cameroon. Now some space for Tolo Nuhu. He'll get a throw in. I don't think that's gone for a corner. Mukumela spoke about the Mamelodi Sundowns fullback just getting himself together as far as the latter half of the first half was concerned, when he looked a bit at sea under pressure from Ketu Calvin, as there's an opportunity from the Cameroon that goes over the top, and looked surprised, Eric Ayuk, who did have the benefit of scoring the first goal in this match. Nuggety little player, very amount of pace on him too. Not a difference between himself and his number 9, Itumeleng Shopani, who's a bigger man and has a greater presence inside the penalty area, but certainly Mbata is able to drive himself towards the goal with pace, playing out on the left-hand side of attack for South Africa. He's playing out on that far side in the first half too, on the right-hand side, so maybe he does prefer the far side. Cameroon, in the meantime, playing with quite a high line in the opening minutes of the second half. As I say, I don't think it's all that surprising. Bangu, nicely picked up in the midfield as well. Now, it's onside here for Shopani. Has a look around for some teammates. Unfortunately, doesn't quite get the delivery through to Grant Marjaman, who was in a great position. Tabota Taka. South Africa not taking any chances in defence. Space offered here to Victor Pindi. A nice turn as well from Kevin Soni, taking over the reins as the playmaker after Calvin was substituted. Tabota Taka. Again, there's space offered here for Victor Pindi. It's one thing defending, it's another one giving that much space to an opposition as strong as the Cameroon. And any of the 8 sides that have qualified for this total under-20 African Cup of Nations in Zambia are probably good enough to win it. Strong challenge by Nobo, keeping Eric Ayuk away, and that little battle continues. It's been going on since the opening whistle of this encounter. Ayuk got the better of Nobo in the 15th minute with that goal on the near post of Mondley and Porto. But other than that, I think Nobo has also rediscovered himself, and in fact both of the fullbacks have had a bit of thinking, a bit of restructuring to do. They've done it right rather nicely. Free kick time though for the Cameroon. Marjoman in the wall, along with Mbata, knocked away from the danger zone. This is Nuhu for the Cameroon. Bindi, well, they've given it away. Cameroon now. South Africa looking to play counter-attack football, and again it reaches to Chopani. Gives a bit of space on the right-hand side. Now, can he produce a cross a little better than the previous time? Tries to go on his own. He's bottled up by the Cameroon defence. Appeals to the referee for something, and Nkurunziza is not interested. 5 minutes played in the second half. Cameroon looking very adventurous. India again. He's playing a lot further forward than we saw on week 4. Ayuk. It's a goal kick, and Ayuk won't be happy. Noble certainly will be. Being a coach at this level, all the youth and testosterone in the teenagers, having to curb it at some stages, having to play to a game plan, having to develop their skills as a junior international, looking perhaps towards the senior squad and World Cup qualifiers or African Cup of Nations 2019. Lots of international football coming up. Don't forget, in the middle of the year is the FIFA Confederation Cup in preparation for Russia 2018. I believe another World Cup is just about on the doorstep. Oh, that's a bit of a miscue from Sandile Mtetwa. It's a good thing there was a little bit of cover provided by Nobo. Going to take focus from both of these sides on the Cameroon to create opportunities to win this, and from South Africa to prevent the West African side from putting them under pressure. Another rather curious piece of defending from Wiseman Mayweather this time. No. Again, it's Tabota Taka. Tabota Taka now on the overlap has done well, and just as well is Mokumela. All the possession at the moment. Haven't created an opportunity to really test Mondley and Porto just yet. Looking out of the commentary box window, I can see Talbot and Norm signalling to his chargers to get the ball up the other side of the park, because you're not going to defend for 45 minutes. Maybe they will be. On the overlap here comes Jubairu. Nice turn from Mbaizidara. Continue to play very, very high line indeed in defence to the Cameroon. Nuhu, a way through for the fullback. The ball comes in the way of Bungu. Bungu being forced to stop and turn by a very vigilant Luther Singh. Clearance from Junior Dande. There's very little to do in the second half because all the attacking's come from his side. Offside this time against the Cameroon, and South Africa starting to push up as far as their defensive line is concerned and showing again their organisation in defence. The man who was caught out there. Away by Mohamed. Back from by Sidara. Guay goes back to Bangu by Sidara. Forward by Bindi. Cameroon stringing some wonderful passes together. Ayuk again, continuing his forages on the right-hand side. Bindi trying to go down the middle, and Bindi will pick up again. Nuhu, this is good play from the Cameroon. Have strung a whole bunch of passes together now. To Taka. That's easy for Porto. I say, just behind him, Porto, there was good work done by Detwer as well. Well, that's a bit of agricultural challenge, and the referee's picked it up. I thought he was going to let the Cameroon defender get away with it, but the Singh's gone down, and Nuhu, who's already been in trouble for giving away a penalty and bringing down a Mbata. Yeah, that's very strong in the challenge from the fullback. Doesn't get away with it though. No damage done to South African double goal scorer. Bukavela with some switch play. Finds Mbata. Mbata. I can understand what his intention was. Ball didn't quite follow what his brain was telling him. Nonetheless, Taka. Ball's gone out of play. That's wonderful defending from the South African side. Mewa tracking to Taka all the way down the touchline. They have been a little bit guilty of giving the ball away at times, and when you're deep inside of your half, where South Africa are now, can be penalised. Norbo in the meantime gets the better of Ayuk one more time. 10 minutes into the second half. No goals as it's half time yet. South Africa leading by 2-1. Cameroon will have a corner. Very important saves of Katie Calvin during the first half from Mugli Porto. Another corner kick though to Cameroon. Porto comes harder. He was beaten to the ball as well. Now he's got his line. South Africa looking to scramble the ball away. Mayweather got a little bit of a touch on it eventually. It's just belted downfield. Rightly so by South Africa, and up at the back by Sidara to Tande. Bangu, Nuhu, and you can see how high Nuhu's playing. Almost collects the ball over the halfway line. Will shove in the back of Sony by South African defender. Here's Taka. A little bit unfortunate, I thought, in the area there for Felix and Kindly. Now South Africa had an opportunity. Here! Net reckoning on the counter-attack. Hat-trick for Singh. Look at him, Porto. Well, with all the defending that South Africa was going to do, it was only going to come from a counter-attack, surely. Huge celebrations in the Tabo Sanon camp. Luther Singh with a hat-trick, the first of the tournament. Absolutely incredible. Just look at this. They were on the attack. They were looking for something here. And suddenly they got caught on the counter-attack. Wonderful ball through the middle. Singh watchful. Tande with no chance. And it's cool, calm and collected as you like. Not just up his third goal of the tournament. Luther Singh. He had a great 2016. Well, 2017 is following suit. He's a man of the future, no doubt. And, well, the congratulations on the bench for the South Africans against the run of play. South Africa scored third from Luther Singh. They lead by 3-1. It seems like both of the Southern African countries have come into this tournament with a lot of intent. Zambia beating Guinea yesterday by that Patson target goal, and South Africa at the moment doing the business over the Cameroon. fancied himself to grab a goal. But so many players forward. We were just speaking about the high line that the fullbacks were playing, getting the ball 10 metres or so inside the half of South Africa. And when the ball was turned over by the South Africans, there was very little that the Cameroon could do about it. Junior Dande off his line a little slowly. That moved this thing doing the business. Now, opportunity here for Victor Mpindi to pull one back for the Cameroon. Poto beaten in the 15th minute. Just about 45 minutes ago. Dummy run now. Mpindi! It's gone wide. Just as well because Mangia Poto was rooted to the spot. That's a look of frustration from the midfielder. It's not a bad strike, but very little in the way of movement from Mangia Poto. Ball going wide, and it wasn't that far away either. So using a little bit of good fortune to their credit, South Africa. Heading up towards 1 hour of football play. There's still plenty of time remaining in a now darkened Living Wanawasa Stadium in Ndola. That's outside of the flooded area. Referee playing an advantage to South Africa. As Felix Nkandle tries to cause problems for the South African defence, and again South Africa get the ball away. Kevin Soni. Yeah, I think it came off Wiseman Mewa. Cameroon will have another corner. Apologies coming from the defence of Mukumela. A look of confidence about the South African side, and at times a look of frustration on the Cameroon. Tabotitaka near post. South African defence will make the clearance. Now looking for another counter attack from Singh. A little dink over the top was a great idea from Cameroon. Hasn't quite worked out for them just yet. They need a bit of width maybe. Looking to get it as well from Tabotitaka. That'll be a goal kick. Was it a throw in? It's been given to the opposition. So Preston Tabotitaka to take it once again. This time he goes for the flat movement, and mistimed sweep from Eric Ayuk will allow South Africa to clear. They are coming under pressure here, these South Africans. Not wasting any time in getting the ball back into play, and they continue to play their enormously high line in which they were punished not long ago. That's going to be another corner, I think. Six goals in Group B. Another corner kick taken. Sony this time with the variation to the theme as he goes for the outswinger, and South Africa once again just satisfied through Wiseman Mewa to knock the ball up the field of play, give themselves just a little bit of a respite maybe in the reorganisation in defence. Mukumela has been knocked over by Ndandle, who picks up a yellow card. The first yellow card of the match then issued by Thierry Nkurunziza, who goes to the pocket. Clearly just the back of the elbow into the face of the South African fullback, and the referee flicked to go in towards the cards. Man of the moment. Hendrick inside of an hour. Played 63 minutes. He's got 3 goals. This is the first goal that came in the match in the 15th minute from Ayuk, and Cameroon thought they were in for a treat here today. Then the free kick 2 minutes later from Singh. Look at the power generated from the 19-year-old Portuguese-based player. The foul from Nuhu on Mbata. The penalty from Singh, and completed his brace after 27 minutes. And then counter-attack football from South Africa, and Singh, the empty net back happening. Hat-trick within an hour. Absolute delight. For the thing for South Africa. I'm sure many South Africans will be on the edge of their seat thinking, well, my goodness me, this is the Cameroon who are in the opposition today. In the meantime, Cameroon finding themselves under pressure again. Nice turn from Tolo Nuhu. Good ball as well from Devote Taka. Good recovery in defence from South Africa. Some nice touches in the area too from the Cameroon. Stoney looking for possession. Actually, Margimans there to clear for South Africa. And a lot more defending than attacking in the second half so far. Nuhu. Bindi. Stoney on the turn. Still the pressure will come from Devote Taka, who's moved over onto the right-hand side from the left, and now they've given it away. Chopani for South Africa. He switches it immediately into a man who's already got 3 goals today. Now a Bata. Looking for some space, finds Marchman instead. Maywa. Oh, it's a good ball. Bata. Tricky character to try and suppress. South Africa perhaps doing the right thing now. Bata looking to go down the touchline. I know he's done brilliantly to get behind. No, and he knows. Maybe one of the men in the middle is offside, but yeah, enterprising from South Africa. Didn't quite work out for them. Good touches. They've been on the defensive for so long in the second half. And that's not a good call. But I'll tell you why. It came from the assistant referee. Did you see the positioning of the assistant referee? He was 2 yards in front of the play, so from his angle, South Africa would have looked offside. From the direct line, he wasn't. South Africa making a change. Koromelo Godisang, 17-year-old from Platinum Stars out in the Rustenburg area. It's a platinum-rich part of South Africa. Call it the Platinum Province, the Northwest. Comes on for a Tumeleng Chopani, 19-year-old from Kaizer Chiefs. He's more of a midfielder, Godisang. It'll be interesting to see how South Africa restructure things. Margiman, that's offside by a country mile. Well, I can hardly blame him for being there's Felix Nkandle, who picked up the yellow card. Only yellow card in the match so far. In the meantime, Victor Pindi. Referee making sure he gets out of the way. Back it comes from Bangu for the Cameroon. Well, the South African defender seems to have injured himself in hitting that ball away. And I think basically down to 10 men. The Cameroon won't have any sympathy. We saw that in the first half as well. We were trailing by 2-1. Oh, and a miscue in defence. Margiman will make the clearance. I think he'll just bang it out of play, surely. Get his teammates some medical attention. This is the incident. Oh, he just got bundled into the midriff with an elbow. Kitlecho Mohamed. The second time he's been down in the match so far. A worried looking coach, Cyprian Achu. We're halfway through the second half in Ndola. He's got to come up with some good ideas. So he's already made one substitution, sending on Felix Nkandle. That hasn't quite worked out for him. Mohamed, in the meantime, yeah, looks just like a knock to the left-hand side of his face. Maybe the ice pack and drink of water will do the business for the Super Sport United man. Waiting to see whether the South African centre-back is going to continue. I think he will. I can't imagine that Thabo Senong would want to muck about with these defensive structure just at the moment when they're dealing with such good position, although he does have some good players in defence as well. Let's switch that too, because suddenly Mukubela from his fullback position starts to look inventive, and that very nearly fell to Luther Singh. He's taking a bit of a knock as Singh from the big centre-back Bangu. So he'll want to continue though, the hat-trick man. In a tournament like this, I can understand in a league match, but in a tournament like this, the total under 20 African Cup of Nations, does the hat-trick man get to keep the match ball as well? Certainly hope so. Made by Victor Mpindi. Good stop and turn from Nkale. The match awards that are made at the end of every game, and I'm no doubt that Luther Singh has put his hand up in a very clear way indeed. Dignitaries in their enclosure, the VIP area. South Africa doing almost what Cameroon were doing in the latter stages of the second half, and just slowing the game down a little, although they are playing a higher line now and getting themselves into more attacking positions. Portataka almost upended there. He has Eric Ayuk. Another good challenge from Nobo. Big smile on the face of the fullback. 20 minutes remaining in stoppage time in Ndola. Flags gone up in favour of the South Africans, who at senior level are called Bafana Bafana, under 20s Amajika. Still dominating possession of the Cameroon at 56%. Wouldn't say so if you look at the scoreboard. That man has been the destroyer. Not on his own though. Although one could argue that the free kick and the penalty were of his own making once they left the boot. But yeah, good opportunities created from him, and that counter-attack football as well. He showed such an amazing amount of clarity and calmness getting past the defence of Bangu and Nuhu. There was nowhere in sight when the third goal came for South Africa, the only goal of the second half. Now South Africa will have a corner. It's been a rare commodity for the South African side. He set the tone, put their hand up for potential place in the 20 World Cup in South Korea in May and June. But there's work to be done. 20 minutes of this one. Still the match against Senegal coming up on Thursday, and then Sudan, who they will play in the capital at the Hero Stadium on Sunday. And a potential semi-final as well. So we will wait to see. Great interest how the groups are going to pan out. Which of the sides will go home early, which of the sides will qualify for the semi-finals, and therefore the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. Substitution time coming for the Cameroon, and they're going to take off another playmaker, Kevin Soni. Now it's very interesting that when K2 Calvin, who was the playmaker on the left-hand side for the Cameroon, was taken off and Kevin Soni became the playmaker. Now Kevin Soni's been removed. You've got Joss Mudumbu, 19-year-old, who's been introduced. He's also a midfielder. Plays for Perugia in Italy. And we'll pick up for you where Mudumbu is going to position himself. I can tell you that Deporte Taka, who ventured over to the right-hand side of attack during the first half, has now moved back over onto the left-hand side, and it looks as if Mudumbu's moved over onto that right-hand side of attack. But talking about the sides of attack, Kazimbato once again. He knows how to attack for South Africa. I don't think the idea was a bad one. Delivery to Kodobela Polisang. Moved over onto the right-hand side of midfield for South Africa. little wayward of him. Maybe just the curve of the ball taking it away from the South African lone substitute, so far anyway. Another couple of substitutes that Senong can utilise. In the meantime, keeping closer to the half-hour mark in the second half, and South Africa extending their half-time advantage. That'll be corner. Nuhu off the back of Mtetwa. But a number of corners have the Cameroon side. They haven't been able to really make use of any of them. The big goal came from broken play from Eric Ayuk. There is Eric Ayuk. Marshall by Wiseman Maywa. Keeper comes out and drops it. And not the most convincing of clearances, but it will fall to a South African boot. Hodisa finds himself in a very fortuitous position. Hodisa comes off Nuhu. It's going to be a corner to South Africa. Now, from defending a corner to a winning one in the space of 30 seconds. That's impressive. Final 10 minutes of the match, but no doubt that South Africa will want to play much more of their football inside the half of Cameroon and try and limit the amount of opportunity that the Cameroon would have of even thinking of dragging himself back into the match. In the meantime, man of the moment, perhaps even the man of the match, Luther Singh. Corner from him, angled header, but yeah, too much physicality from the big centre-back. Santi Mtetwa looking to get himself in amongst the goals as well here in Ndola. The fans have been treated to wonderful spectacle today. Lots of drama and innuendo in the match between Senegal and Sudan that ended 1-1. Fans come to see goals, and they've seen 4 of them in this match so far. We've reached the half-hour mark in the second half. Quarter of an hour remaining and stoppage time. Getting a little bit more desperate, I think, for Cyprian Echu, because previous pitches we've seen him in, he's cool, calm and collected. Now he's becoming a little bit more animated. Quite the opposite of the two coaches throughout the course of the match, and now suddenly seems to take in a little bit of a back seat. Singh hat-trick, and South Africa leading by 3-1 over the West African giants Cameroon. Nuhu, a handball just about, and maybe it didn't quite reach the arm of Mutafo Tataka. Certainly no signal from the near side assistant referee, who's all the way back on the halfway line. Now, Bangu. Keeper calls for it, keeper doesn't quite grab it, not that convincing from Mpoto in the last couple of little forays across, and he's got to make a decision. He's not going to catch it, he's got to punch surely. The danger has been averted nonetheless. Ball comes to Bairu. Cross to Bangu for the Cameroon. South Africa not willing to challenge the centre-back halfway inside of his own half. A lot of energy has been expended by both the Cameroon and South Africa, but they do have a couple of days to sort all of that out, because it's only on Thursday that the Cameroon will be in action again. They play Sudan in the early match. South Africa will play against Senegal at the same time of kickoff as today's encounter. Forward by Mohamed. Barter onto the inside. Again, South Africa able just to bottle up that attack. The throw will go to Cameroon, no doubt. Good work done again by the South African side. Singh not able to control the ball first time, but I don't think that there's too much concern from him at the moment. South Africa back under the defensive mode. Jibairu looking for Eric Ayuk. South Africa come away with it again through Nobo. Singh. Nice little stop and turn from Kodisan. Switch play here. March of an offside. Might have been 1-0, and you don't want to do that. That's a bit of retaliation. Potentially the referee could take action. Mr. Nkurunziza, but he managed to just hold himself back, the 18-year-old Cape Town-based midfielder. Another cross set wayward from the Cameroon. Cameroon will forage and try all of the time. Zubairu. Easy save from Porto. God made the save it, and he's starting to come up with a couple of antics here. He's the SuperSport United goalkeeper. There's still 11 minutes and stoppage time to play, though. Barter looking for work behind Zubairu. Foul on Marjaman. Free kick South Africa. Substitute Utubu was the man who committed the foul. South Africa committing players forward, and they've got a man down, and they still look quite organised at the back. Though Ayuk denied by Novo. There's a slip in defence from South Africa. Ayuk reorganised himself in a hurry there. That was an absolutely terrific piece of play from South Africa. There's work still to be done. Plays going down for South Africa all the while. Great work done by Wiseman Mewa. Bangu. That's a little better from Porto. It's his first catch in a while. Nice piece of foresight as well in delivery. Good that things gone down. Khodisang. Bata. Salam Bata. He's a little man, but he's a handful now, and he just can't provide the ball back to Marjaman or to Khodisang, who had started the move in the first place. Meantime, Singh really looks as if he's been wrapped up a little. Novo. Is that an own goal? No, it's not. Hanley thought that he got the rub of the green there, and I think that Teto and Mohamed can breathe a sigh of relief in that one. Wow. Good piece of play. Pindi once again. Lovely ball in from Eric Ayuk. So he got a little lucky. Inside of the final 10 minutes. Still double figures in minutes. As far as I think stoppage time is concerned, it's going to be added on. Pindi, Marjaman has it away. Still Cameroon looking to drive the ball to that South African penalty area. Hit it clear by Tetwa. Referee Mr. Nkurunziza spotting a push once again and just asking the players to calm things down in that attack zone. This time it's Novo who's taking one to the short rib. Still a smile on his face, I think it'll be okay. Mohamed comes back to offer some consolation. Three out of the four defenders play in the capital city, two of them with Mamelodi Sundowns, one for SuperSport United. Tetwa comes from Joburg, in the defence that is, he's from Orlando Pirates. Now, Novo's being urged to go off the field of play to receive medical attention so that the match can continue. I think that's good refereeing from Nkurunziza, because it's not a leg injury and he's not debilitated by any stretch of the imagination. So he'll go off, so that we get down to 10 men, but they do have a free kick. Now, a little bit of over-enthusiasm, I think, from Tebote Taka, who thought there'd been a touch from Montreal Porto, and therefore he wanted to steal the ball away from the South African goalkeeper. Yeah, I think Montreal Porto must sort of change this situation, become a little bit more serious about the remainder of this encounter. On the halfway line, Novo looking to come back on. It's Khodisang. And in your picture is the centre-back, Duplex Bangu. Substitution time then for Cameroon, who will make their final play. And a substitute will be substituted. Doesn't happen often. Quite doing the job, I suppose, that the coach wanted him to. Well, the man who comes on is Pellegrin and Gay from Hitting Sport FC in the Cameroon. And another striker that's been introduced by Cyprian Nachu. Meantime, though, South Africa continue with the attack. Mukumela, Mbata, nobody there in support and cleared by Bangu. South Africa have it back, though. That's a little hidden hope more than anything else, and maybe a bit of time wasting from Nobo. Time is not the friend of the Cameroon at the moment, and even if the referee adds 3 minutes on, it means there's 8.5 minutes still remaining in this encounter. In the meantime, we do have a substitution. Grant Marchman, the Ajax man, is going to make way for another Supersport player. Sipo Bule is going to make his way to the midfield. Year-old midfielder, another man from the capital city, another man from Stuart Baxter's Supersport United side, who will come on to face the might of the Cameroon. The Cameroon has been largely snuffed out. Half-time score was 2-1. Singh completed his hat-trick with a breakaway goal. First hat-trick of the tournament. Mudumu. Nuhu. Not quite picked up by the South African defence. 5 minutes of stoppage time remaining. Nice challenge by Fodisan. South African fans, not only here in Doha, but I'm sure all around South Africa will be on the edge of their seats, hoping that the Burundian referee, Mr. Thierry Nkurunziza, doesn't add on a whole hatful at a time, and South Africa can ease their way to a quick victory. 3-1 would be mighty impressive over a big side like the West African Giants, Cameroon, but not over yet. Mudumu looking for Ayuk. Ayuk trying to go his way past Nobles, overdone it. Clearance from Katleko Mohamed. More valuable seconds going out of the window as far as the Cameroon advantage is concerned, if there is any to them at the moment. Still the buzz continues around the stadium. It's like a handball from the South African defender, Nobo. Cameroon desperate to try and get themselves another goal here, and if they do pressurise and grab a goal, it's going to be all out attack. They'll throw everything, the kitchen sink, the whole lot, and South Africa. Free kick taken in. Good opportunity by the captain, Samuel Gouet. Good vigilance by Sipo Mbule, the man who's just come on, shielding the ball away from Mbaye Sidara. Although the decision didn't go the way of Cameroon. There's an opportunity now towards the back post. Has it gone directly out of play? No, says the assistant referee. It's going to be another corner for Cameroon, I think. Bata doing a spot defending. A fair amount of attacking as well. Won the penalty, don't forget, when Singh grabbed his second goal on 27 minutes. Cameroon continuing to apply pressure here. Gouet once again. The keeper stays on his line. They get to the ball first to the Cameroon. Into the middle. Mudumu. It's been won nicely there by Sabonokonke and Mbata. Tidied up even better by the Cameroon. Number 17, Felix Tubairu, the right-sided fullback. Africa still have one substitution that they can utilise as well. Not so sure that's really going to be necessary. Headed away by Katoko Mohammed once again for South Africa. Now, counter-attack football, was it handball? No, says the referee, although he was playing an advantage to South Africa and was really forthcoming. Bindi. No. Disappointing. South Africa, as we have a look at the dignitaries box once again, all the top names in African football. Luther Singh with his first goal, then the penalty with the Potter going down. Second goal for Singh. And then Singh on the counter-attack. Grabbed his third like this. It's an easy game, this football. Luther Singh makes way. He's going to be a hero in the South African camp. His place taken by Liam Jordan, or Jordan, I beg your pardon. Liam Jordan from Sporting Lisbon in Portugal. He's 18 years old. Second South African on the park. One Portuguese-based player taking over from another. We're in stoppage time. 3 minutes added on. Seems unlikely that the Cameroon could score 2 goals in 3 minutes. South Africa not going to take any chances with that, you can be sure. Bodadaka. Nice work done in the midfield by South Africa's defence. Bokamkwena working overtime, the captain of the side. In the meantime, there's no respite. Bodo will keep it tidy at the back. It's a goal kick to South Africa. Clock is ticking. Cameroon haven't come up with an answer. Don't forget, next match for the Cameroon is against Sudan on Thursday. South Africa to take on Senegal. We visited Senegal against Sudan in the 1-1 earlier this afternoon. In the meantime, Khodisa looking for Liam Jordan. Good clearance from Santi Liam Chetwa. And that's starting to open up a little. 1 minute of stoppage time has already gone a begging. And all that the Cameroon can hope for now is a consolation goal to stop any hopes of a massive goal difference. -2 for them, bottom of the table after round 1 for the Cameroon, and South Africa sitting pretty with 3 points and a +2 goal difference after their opening match. Plenty of work to be done in the next 2 matches though for both of these two sides. More pressure, of course, when you missed out of the first match. Pindi goes for goal, misses. 24 seconds ticking by. Pindi's had some opportunities today. Been very creative alongside of Ayuk and Samuel Boué, the captain of the Cameroon side. But Sofenachu staring defeat in the eyes on Cameroon's return to the total under-20 African Cup of Nations after missing out in 2013, 2015. Not quite the debut they would have wanted on their return to the competition, which forms not only as the under-20 African Championship, but also qualification for South Korea 2017 and the FIFA World Cup competition. Ball knocked away by Santi Liam Chetwa. 30 seconds away from the final whistle now, South Africa. Possession for Sipho Bule. South Africa still with a chance here. Khodisa. Still Khodisa. Jordan goes wide. Again, perhaps it's enough time for Junior Dande to take the goal kick. No, not even that. The referee's blown. And maybe 5 seconds earlier. I don't think it would have made any difference whatsoever. It's a massive victory for South Africa's amateur. Cameroon scoring first. South Africa